How do you think that went?
Huh?
How do you think that went?
I think it was excellent. I felt goosebumps.
Okay, the building has codes.
Oh, okay.
So let me know when you're there so I can come down and let you in.
Okay, okay. Call you on this phone or call you on your cell phone? Which phone, what number you want me to call you on?
The cell.
I'll check and see. Okay, thanks. But he's a student of mine. He played guitar and several other instruments, but he would always complain about his sickness, about dialysis, and how he's so sick every time he have to get his treatment, and you know, 3 times a week, I believe, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm not sure. But he said just sometimes they go well, and sometimes they don't. And he was just praying to get a kidney donor to match up. And it's not that easy to get a perfect match for a kidney. So, as the Lord would have it, she was a perfect match, and she has agreed to give up one of her kidneys for her husband. And so it's going to be done in a couple days here in St. Louis, Missouri. They live in Arizona. He was formerly from St. Louis, but then she lived in Arizona. So now they're back in St. Louis just to get this procedure done. It was a wonderful thing for his wife to be a donor, and we pray that it is a perfect match, no rejections, everything will be accepted, and wonderful testimony, wonderful love story, and he will be receiving an award, a Story Behind the Glory award, on February the 9th, 2019 at the Atrium Banquet Hall. There you have it. I'm down here. It's a, okay. Was it 30 lofts? Am I at the right place?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Oh, he got a kidney treatment. He belonged to our church. Oh, okay. I'm gonna take a picture of that. Hi, I'm Gregg Haynes, and this is just a segment of The Story Behind the Glory. Our guest today is the wonderful couple, Kenneth and Jennifer Powell. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Gregg.
Good to have you. Now, I've been knowing you for a minute. How many years?
I'd say at least 4 or 5.
4 or 5 years. And how did you came to me and said you wanted to take guitar lessons. Yeah. I don't know how. Was it through social media? How did that happen?
Well, okay. I have to go back a little bit because my mom used to go to VCOC.
Oh, Victory Christian Outreach Church.
And
Lee and Doris Rice.
Yes, and my mother used to actually dangle you in front of me like, we got this really good guitar player you need to go check out. And I was young. I was out in the world. I was a teenager then. I was young, and I was like, you know how you know how youth is, But yeah, that's when I first heard of Happy Guitar.
Okay.
And yeah, my entire family is familiar with Happy Guitar.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. But you called and you were saying, listen, I want to take some lessons, and I think you played several instruments.
Yeah, bass, guitar, drums.
Great. Okay. So you said, well, I'm going to get a ride to your house, and I'm going to call a ride. And I said, huh? I said, So you came over, you were determined, and we had a few lessons, and a couple times. Did I come to your apartment?
You came to mine.
I came to your apartment, yeah. But I never knew what you were going through. And then you told me that you was a dialysis patient. Tell me a little bit about that, just a little bit.
Well, my kidneys failed, or came near to failing, after I had 2 back-to-back strokes.
Oh, okay.
Back in 2010. Matter of fact, it was April 30th and May 1st.
So you had 2 back-to-back strokes.
Yes. The first one I remember. The second one occurred the morning of the next day. So the second one put me in a coma for 30 days.
30 days?
30 days.
A coma
The entire
for
month.
30 days.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
And when I woke up, I had complete amnesia. I didn't know. Matter of fact, I was living in Vancouver, Canada, Vancouver, BC, and I woke up. Matter of fact, the doctor, when he would address me or come to the part of the ICU where I was in, he would put his hand on my shoulder and say, "Kenneth," because if he'd just stood there, I would have had no idea who he was speaking to. So it took about more than a month for those memories to start coming back.
I mean, this is time for a praise break. I give God glory.
Yes.
And just to hear what you're saying, oh my God.
Yes.
And so you had the stroke, you had amnesia. How long did it take for you to start getting your memory back? Do you remember?
It took closer to a next month of just, well, first of all, taking the shade off of what was happening to me. You know, that kind, you have to kind of wrap your mind around that. You know, you have to wrap your mind around that, you know, half of your body doesn't work. You can't feel half your body. You know,
Wow.
I had to relearn how to walk.
Man. See, this is what make the SBTG so powerful, the story behind the glory. Right now, we never would have known any of this. I mean, it's glorious. You all look so beautiful together. But there's a story, there's a journey. No one would ever know that what you went through. I mean, many people don't make it after that, after the strokes. And so God has blessed you for a reason. I believe that there is some great exploits that God is going to bless you. You have a ministry, and I believe it's going to be a blessing to the world. So let's fast forward. So then you had to do, what caused your kidneys to fail? The stroke?
The strokes.
Okay.
They caused the kidneys to almost fail. Came pretty close to failing. Between 2010 and 2015, it was a slow fail, but it was a fail nonetheless. But no, I started to see a kidney doctor in 2011, and he told me that, you know, I should probably get a fistula, which is an access point for dialysis, because he says pretty soon, he says not right now, but you're going to need dialysis in the near future. And you know, I bit the bullet and went ahead and got the access put in my arm, and it fully matured. So by the time 2015 came, of course, my kidneys had declined that much that I would start dialysis.
Okay. Without going to total detail, was there fear or was there anxiety about having the dialysis, and what was the process? How did you feel afterwards, your treatment?
Oh, all the above. You go through the why me's. You go through the anxiety of being disabled. You know, I have one of my family members called me handicapped because that was her generation. She called me handicapped. She didn't mean it to be negative.
Yeah.
So it was just the way she expressed it. And I remember starting physical therapy, you know, getting in the parallel bars to walk. And I remember, you know, while I would walk, I would take this step and then I would swing this leg because this leg really didn't work. And my therapist asked me, she says, I want you to look up. You want to look at yourself. And there was mirrors all over the place. And she asked if I could look up, and I told her, no, I couldn't do it. So I couldn't wrap my mind around the fact that I'm learning to walk. I mean, of course, when you're a baby, you don't remember, you know, but when you're an adult learning how to walk again, it's very humbling.
Yeah.
You know, God will take many different situations to humble you.
Wow, because I just remember just coming to this beautiful apartment, you walking down like, hey, look at he, macho man walking on down. But just to hear, I would have thought that God brought you. Thank God that He was able to bring you to this point.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, Jennifer, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
You are so beautiful. We just thank God for your spirit and thank God for you. How did you meet this guy?
How did I meet this guy? Well, I blame it on Google.
Oh!
That's where that story starts.
Okay.
So I was doing an online search and it brought up one of those ads for a different online dating site that I had seen. So my story starts a little bit earlier, though. Why was I even looking for online dating?
Okay.
So prior to meeting Kenneth, I had been married for 20 years in a happy marriage, and God had different plans for that marriage.
Yes.
And my late husband, passed away 8 years before I met Kenneth.
Okay.
So, and I also he left me with 2 children, who were 12 and 13 at that time. I was 46 when he passed away.
Okay.
So I had a wonderful young son who's grown up and working on his master's degree now, and I've got my daughter who's medically fragile and will need care. She's got developmental disabilities, so she's 21 and needs help. So I kind of walked some years alone, being a single mom and a widow.
Okay.
You know, God saw me through all of those days, and then finally I was ready to, you know, have a new time in my life. And so here I am doing a Google search, and up comes this online dating ad.
Wow.
So I put on my little profile.
Okay.
I was just curious. I was just, whatever. So I put it up. The next morning, there's all these inquiries in my inbox. And I'm like, oh my God, what's this? Because they're all coming in. And the third one in was Kenneth. So I'm just like looking through them. But they were coming from all across the country. So here I am in Phoenix, Arizona, and I see this guy. Hello, my name is Kenneth. So I looked through at his profile, and I liked what he had to say, and I said, hey, I like you, but why are you reaching out to me if you're in St. Louis and I'm in Phoenix? How does this site work? And he's like, I'm just a plane ride away, my dear. And I'm like, I think I like this guy. He's got a point. So then we started texting, and within the first 3 hours of texting, I knew I was in love with this man.
Wow.
I just
Praise
felt
God.
that, yep.
That's a beautiful story.
That's how we came to be.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember you coming to, we have our ministry, Anointed Music Ministry, Happy Guitar Music and Arts. We have done we present an annual Valentines Gala.
Yep, that was our first date.
But I didn't want it to be, I wanted to be where people could come and just feel comfortable.
Yes.
You know, whether you were dating, not dating, single, you might find a date after you get there, or whatever, or where, you know, the soul food movie, get Uncle Pete out of the back room, let him come out, dress him up, have good music, good food, and that was that's what I wanted to do. And I remember Kenneth said, I want to come, and I'm bringing a date. I guess you were coming from, I don't know where you were
I was
coming
coming from Phoenix. So yeah, he asked me out
Right.
the first week that we were texting. He's like, would you, attend this Valentine's Day Gala? And I'm like, okay, just plane right away.
Wow. I feel good about that.
And I'm like, let me start working on the dress.
Yeah, the Valentine's Gala, we did a nice connection, but you enjoyed yourself and.
Oh, it was wonderful.
Okay.
It was beautiful evening, the music with the fellowship.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. You know, that means that our struggles and putting this together was not in vain. You know, we want people to walk away, feeling good about themselves. Okay, so fast forward. So you get married.
Yeah, then we got married. 6 months after meeting, we got married.
You got married 6 months after meeting.
Yeah,
Okay.
we moved fast.
So what brought up the question about, because usually we have to wait till there's a perfect match or donor.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened? How did you get to that point?
Believe it or not, it was just a happenstance conversation. I think you asked me what my blood type was.
Yeah.
And I said, type 1 negative. She says, I'm O positive. So we were both like,
Kind of thing that gonna make you go,
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
But it's not like I was looking for her
Right.
to donate.
right.
I just,
And we didn't know if a woman could donate to a man.
Yeah.
you know.
or a smaller woman with
Right,
a
right,
bigger
right,
man. We didn't
right.
know if the size would make a difference.
Yeah.
But we asked a lot of questions, and
Yeah, they did a lot of tests.
Oh
It took a
my
lot of
gosh.
blood.
Yeah. How many vials? I mean, how many?
25 vials.
25
The
each.
first time they took blood from me, they took 25, and then they were like, "Oh, Mr. Powell, I'm sorry, we're going to take 5 more vials." So they stick me again.
Say, what? Oh wow! See, that's the journey. That's a story that many people probably don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
and the thing Kenneth hasn't talked about that was new to me is how much of a trial being on dialysis
Mhm.
is. You know, so it's very uncomfortable and it's very stressful on your body, and it's you feel depleted and exhausted afterward, and you know it takes up a half your week. You know, you
Mhm.
spend 3 times a week, 4 or 5 hours at a time. You're sitting there, and so I had never witnessed that, and I wanted to just do something to relieve that trial if God would want that to happen.
Okay, so you go through all that and you get your date as far as to prepare. You're preparing now for this surgery or this, what do you call it?
Transplant surgery.
Transplant surgery?
Mhm.
Okay. So we're praying that this is a match made from heaven. We're praying and giving God the praise that
Yes.
everything will go smoothly, that the doctors will be amazed. Even when the enemy would try to come in, that God will just wipe all of that away. I'm just trusting and I'm believing God. I'm praying. I mean, I really am. Because I think this, when the Bible speaks about the woman being the help meet or the help mate or the help kidney, I mean, all the above. I mean, that is so beautiful. It really is.
Can I tell you a story? The day that I woke up out of the coma, I was believe it or not, I was on the gurney. The only thing I saw was a window
Mhm.
at my feet, and I looked, well, there's a wall here, but I looked to my right, and there was a doctor about 10 feet away from me writing notes, pulling his glasses down, just looking really perplexed, really, just like, he's writing. And I'm laying there thinking, well, this man, please come say something. Because he's writing a whole lot of, writing the story of my life pretty much. But he got up, he came towards me, and he just put his hand on my chest and said, young man, someone up there really, I'll never forget, really, really, really likes you. And he walked away. I'm just like,
Wow.
now mind you, I don't know who he's talking to.
Right, yeah. Because you were still in the amnesia
Right.
mode.
I'm trying to figure out where I am because from my vantage point, lying down, I just see clouds. So I thought, okay, maybe I made it, quote unquote. But I still couldn't move. So I'm like, okay, this isn't good. I couldn't get to heaven and still be sick. But the thing about it is, even though I didn't have a knowledge of who I was, there's a scripture that says, the rocks will cry out. I was that rock. I knew that there was me, and I knew that there was a Father, and that he was looking out for me, looking down on me, keeping me safe, trying to keep me encouraged. So I never got to a pit of despair, because I always had that. I think every physical thing has a knowledge of God.
Okay. Well, so the date that has been set is what date?
Wednesday, January 23rd, so just 2 days.
Wednesday,
January 23rd.
January 20. Oh, that's
2 days
Day
from now.
after.
ooh.
Yeah, day after
Oh,
tomorrow.
2 days from now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, what I wanted to say was these two wonderful Christians will be receiving the Story Behind the Glory Award, whether you are able to come or not. You know, if you're able to come, fine. We're not going to push the healing process. So I don't know how long that's going to take, but you will be in front of all the people. Will have your plaque and wherever you are, even if we have the Facebook Live, you know. But we're hoping that you can be there, or maybe you can be there, or I don't know. Okay, but what we're not going to do is push. Oh, you got to be there because you're going to get it. It's going to be presented, and people are going to know your story while we're there. We're going to give a brief synopsis and show you a picture, and hopefully we'll be able to come to the hospital after it's over and just y'all can wave and say, hey, we made it. You know, not a long interview, but just that. You know.
This is a story about God.
Yes,
This
right.
really isn't our achievement. This is God's hand through every step of our journey.
I believe it. I believe
so
it.
this to us is a tribute to God.
Oh yeah, that's what it's all about. That's a story, and the ultimate is giving honor, and the glory goes to God. We have our little glory, our achievements, but it does not match to the glory of God.
Amen.
And so we give Him praise and we give Him honor. Again, this is Story Behind the Glory, this particular segment, in January of 2019, here in the home of Kenneth and Jennifer Powell. And wonderful story. We just look for God to continue to bless you. Until this time, next time, this is Gregg Haynes, the man with the happy guitar, signing off.
How do you think that went?
Huh?
How do you think that went?
I think it was excellent. I felt goosebumps. And just to be a part of that journey
Yeah.
that he chose Gala for his first date.